Hi Year 3, happy Wednesday. I hope you found the first lesson okay yesterday. If you didn't, then don't worry, we're going to go through it again today, but in a bit more detail, okay? So I'm going to go through the question at the moment, then before we start the activities, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to, if you want to, you can try this a piece of paper yourself, okay? But first of all, I'd just like you to listen. So let's learn. Fold a piece of paper into 3 equal parts, okay? So just like we've got in the example here, we folded a piece of paper into 3 equal parts. And we have shaded one part. So we know one part out of the 3 equal parts is shaded. So that looks like 1/3. That fraction, if you look where my mouse is 1/3. And that's what we learned last week, okay? 1 is the numerator of how many parts we have shaded, and the other is the 3 parts of how many we have all together, okay? So in 1/3, 1 is the numerator and 3 is the denominator. Are there any other ways we can write 1/3, okay? So we're going to use the same piece of paper, okay, the same strip of paper, and we are going to fold it again into 6 equal parts, okay? So 2 parts out of 6 parts are now shaded. So 2/6, we call this fraction 2/6, okay? So if we did it again with the same piece of paper, okay, so we've gone from the same piece of paper starting out with 3 equal parts, then we've gone from the same piece of paper going to 6 equal parts, and now we're going to use the same piece of paper again and see if we can get 12 equal parts, okay? So if we did that, how many parts are shaded? So what would the numerator be? What is the name of each part? So I'm going to use a fraction rule to help you, okay? Fraction rules are going to become your really good friends in equivalent fractions. You're going to really get to know them. They're going to really help you out, okay? We'll be using them in our activities. So as we can see here, we've made our paper into our fraction rule. So this is 1/3. That's what we started out with here, okay? 1 part out of the 3 are shaded. Then we did it again. We made our same piece of paper into 6 equal parts, and we had 2 bits shaded, okay? Now we've put it into 6 equal parts, so we can see that the equivalent fraction to 2/6 and 1/3 is also 4 out of 12, so 4/12, okay? So that means 1/3, 2/6, and 4/12 are equivalent fractions, okay? They are all equal, okay? What are other equivalent fractions of 1/3? Use the strip to help you, the paper strip to help you, okay? So I want you to pause the video here. I want you to have a go. Can you find any other equivalent fractions to 1/3, okay? You might need to see if you can make your paper any smaller. You might need lots of pieces of paper to help you because the folded squares might get a bit confusing. So if you have any strips of paper, see how many equal parts you can have, and that's going to be your denominator, okay? Good luck. So let's go to the guided practice. So with our guided practice here, like I said, we are becoming very familiar with our fraction rules. Fraction rules are brilliant. They can let you see equivalent fractions, okay? So look at the diagram. Find the missing numerators. So they're saying 1 whole, which is this top bar here, that's 1 whole, is the same as how many quarters? So we're going to ignore the halves because we need to focus on quarters here, because that's what our question is. There are 4 parts. So it has to be this row here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can see, I'm going to get my square. I'm going to get my square here so I can really clearly show you. Here we go. So this is our 1 whole. Is the equal sign is equivalent to how many quarters? That's right, 4 quarters, okay? So 1 whole is the same as 4 quarters. How about 1/2 then? Let me use a different colour. How about 1/2? So we've got 1/2 here, okay? What is that equivalent to? How many 8? Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1/2 is equivalent to 4/8. Okay, what about 3/4? Okay, so we have 3/4. I'm going to get another coloured square now. Let's go for pink. Okay, so 3/4 here is the same as how many 8? So we know that's 4. It's going to be the same as, make sure we got all of them, 6/8. Okay, and we know we're right because we've proven it, because we've highlighted it, we've really understood that. Okay, so the next question. The 3 figures are cut into equal parts. What fraction of each figure is shaded? Okay, so a bit like we were doing last week, let's find out how many are shaded. So we've got 1 shaded. I'm just going to write it. We've got 1 shaded out of how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we've got 1 out of 4. So we call that a quarter. How about this one then? 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4 shaded. And instead of counting in ones here, how many have I got all the way down? 4. And how many rows have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4, 8, 12, 16. So there's 16 squares altogether. 4/16. Okay. And the last one, 4, 8, 12. Okay. So we've got 4 out of 12. Okay. So are the fractions equivalent? Why or why not? So what I'd like you to do is on the website is the way you click on this video. Next to it will say blue task. Okay. Next to it it will say to you what you need. I want you to use your fraction rule. Okay, and I want you to work out whether any of these fractions are equivalent to each other. Okay, because your fraction rule will have 16 parts on it. So you need to see whether they are equivalent. You're going to work that out yourself. Okay, and you need to tell them why or why not. So is a quarter the same as 4/16? And is a quarter the same as 4/12? And it will be able to show you, like we've done up here on our fraction rule. Okay, so I'd like to have a go at that. So then once you've had a go at that, I want you to please complete today's activities. Okay, if you need to go through the video again, that's absolutely fine, especially the guided practice bit here, where I've gone through the fraction rules to see whether you can see if the fractions are equivalent. Okay, so remember, equivalent fractions, if you still have the same amount, so you still might have the same bar of chocolate, but it's how many people you're sharing it with. You might share it with 4 people, you might share it with 2 people, you might share it with 8 people. The more people you share your chocolate bar with, the less you're going to get, but it's still the same chocolate bar. Okay, that's what you just need to remember. Okay, so good luck with it. Let me know how you get on. Bye.